Hello dear YouTuber friends, and I hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to this new video. Now with Flight Sim 2024 just around the corner, time of recording this video is just over 2 weeks away. One of the most common questions people will type into YouTube or Google is what's the best controller to use with Flight Sim? So that's either on the Xbox platform or PC. Now there's a plethora of controllers available for both. In this video I'm going to give you the guide to the best low cost or starter controllers that you can use for each platform. So that will be for Xbox and PC. It might be the first time you'll be trying Flight Sim with Flight Sim 2024. You want to get into it, but you want a good controller that's not gonna cost the earth. Well, that's what this video for. It's pretty much for the newer pilots, brand new pilots to the sim, who want to pick up a controller without paying the earth, but want to get a good experience from the sim. So let's not dilly-dally. Let's get on with this video. Okay, so let's start with the Xbox platform. Now obviously on the Xbox Series S and X you get a gamepad. That works fine in Microsoft Flight Sim. Some pilots still use it. Personally, I don't recommend it. It's almost like you're gamifying the sim. You can use it. It is usable, but you're not getting the best experience or the best immersion using a gamepad. If you want to get into Flight Sim, buy a dedicated controller. Now, there's a range of controllers currently available for Flight Sim 2020, which should all work. I've done some tests, and I'll link my video down below about testing controllers. They should all work with Flight Sim 2024 as well. So you got various sorts of flight sticks or Hotas systems, and you've got various different Yokes. Now, because this video's concentrating on your very first controller and best value controller to use with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 specifically, I'm going to recommend the Hotas One. By the way, let's just get this out of the way. Hotas means hands-on throttle and stick. Hotas, hands-on, so your hands on a throttle, and you've got a separate stick. Hands-on throttle and stick. A flight stick will just be an all-in-one unit without a separate throttle quadrant. The reason I'm recommending the Hotas One, there's a few reasons in fact. Typically, it's the lowest cost flight controller that you can buy currently for the Xbox platform. Again, typically you can pick these up for around £60 or £70, probably around $70–80 in euros, that type of thing. Typically, I'm saying that because Flight Sim 2024 is just around the corner. It's just a couple of weeks off now. Whenever a major Flight Sim hits the market, specifically on Xbox, flight controllers can suddenly shoot up in price. Keep that in mind. If you're watching this video as within the release period, a couple of weeks before Flight Sim 2024, you may still get a good deal. When Flight Sim 2024 is just about to release or has released, you may find the prices of these controllers will suddenly shoot up, and you get sort of spammers, shall we say, hoarders, buying them to try to charge people extra. Just keep that in mind. So typically it's the lowest cost controller to buy. That's one reason. The other reason, it's a great unit, a very immersive Hotas system to feel, have in your hands and to use. You've got your hands on that meaty throttle quadrant, and you've got your other hand on the stick, and you can divide the Hotas One as well and you can just get a very, very immersive experience for the price, and it's just a very sturdy unit. I own a couple of Thrustmaster Hotas systems, the Hotas One and Hotas 4. I'll come back to that point later, and it just feels very sturdy. It's always lasted. It's kind of like my go-to Hotas system when I need a throttle and stick on the Xbox platform. It's just fantastic for that. Another reason this will be my most recommended first controller to use on the Xbox. If you want future expansions, you can add a set of rudder pedals, the Thrustmaster rudder pedals, to the Hotas One. They only work with the Hotas One, just be aware of that, the Thrustmaster rudder pedals. If you're using a different Hotas system, you're going to have to use, so like the Velocity 1 flight stick, you're going to need the Velocity 1 rudder pedals. Just keep that in mind. So I won't get into that in too much details. Let's just concentrate on the Hotas One. The Hotas One, if you want future expansion and the ultimate immersion with that Hotas system, buy the Thrustmaster rudder pedals down the line, and you're going to get a great immersive experience. This is for future expansion considerations. Typically, again, you can pick them up for around £170 the bundle. So that's the Hotas One with the rudder pedals. If you want to buy the rudder pedals separately, you can normally get them for sub £100. You don't actually need rudder pedals with the Hotas One. It's got a twist action on the stick and a rocker switch on the front of the throttle quadrant, so you can get by with that with just using the Hotas One. So yeah, my first recommended flight controller, if you want to keep the prices down, is the Hotas One for the Xbox platforms. Staying with the Xbox platform for just a moment, there's some important information that I want to give you about the Hotas One. There's 3 different Thrustmaster Hotas systems available on the market. You've got the Hotas X, you've got the Hotas 4, and you've got the Hotas One. If you want to use the Thrustmaster Hotas system with Xbox, it's the Hotas One you're after. The Hotas X is PC compatible only. The Hotas 4 is PlayStation compatible. It also works on PC as well, by the way. But the Hotas One is the only one that will work on Xbox. I believe it's some kind of compliant chip in the unit that makes it work with Xbox, or allows it to work with Xbox. So just be careful when buying your Thrustmaster Hotas systems. There's a few out there, it can be confusing, but you want to make sure you're buying the Hotas One. I'm going to link affiliate links for my Amazon affiliate down below in the description for all the controllers that I'm talking about. So you can go and take a look to make sure that you'll be buying the correct Hotas system. It's going to be the Hotas One, and in the listing it should say it's compatible with the Xbox Series S or X, or Xbox platforms generally. Don't buy the Hotas 4 or Hotas X. They won't work on Xbox. Okay, so now turning our attention to the PC platform. Well, this is where you're spoilt for choice, my friends. Essentially, with PC, any controller, any flight controller, any old kind of joystick you may have from many years ago will work with Microsoft Flight Sim. Like I said, with my testing with controllers, video link down below, with Flight Sim 2024, any controller I threw at it worked. So you've got very old sorts of joystick controllers. You've got more high-end stuff that can cost upwards of £600 to £800 or even £1,000, and various different yokes you can use on PC. Now, which do I most recommend if you just want to get flying for the lowest cost? Do what I did. I bought from eBay something like a £15 to £20 old joystick that was available, my goodness, in the years of Flight Sim 2004 or something of that sort. You may even have one around your home. These will work fine. I'll link videos about setting up, it's a newbie flight controller setup video I did, about setting up very sort of old antiquated joysticks. I did a series of it a long time ago now with Flight Sim 2020. I'll do it again when Flight Sim 2024 arrives and releases. These will work fine with Flight Sim 2024, so you can pay as little as what, 10 to 20 pound or dollars or euros, or if you have one already, yeah, okay. Now you may not get the very best experience. Many of those old controllers don't even have hat switches, which lets you sort of zoom around with your external view. You can use buttons for that, but it's not quite as immersive, and they're very simplistic. Again, I would go with, if you want a good experience, go with one of the Hotas systems. Now, I'm going to link some Amazon affiliate links down below. I'll try and find the cheapest Hotas systems for PC for you, to give you an idea. Because anything works, you're going to be more spoiled for choice on PC. You're more likely to get a good deal on a good Hotas system. So yeah, I would recommend that for a good flight experience and an immersive flight experience on PC. But because we're on PC, you've also got a range of Yoke systems available, including the Logitech Flight Yoke system. I'll link my original video I did of Flight Sim 2020 setting that up. It's still one of my most popular videos. It's a Flight Yoke system that you can typically pick up for around £100, and you're getting a kind of complete system there. You're getting a yoke and throttle quadrant. The only thing you don't have are rudder pedals, but you can use, if you need to, something like an Xbox controller triggers for rudders to start with, or just go out and buy the cheapest set of rudder pedals, because they all work on PC, that you can find. And that should cost you sub £200, but just for the Logitech Flight Yoke system. My goodness, I mean, like I said, if you pick that up for around the £100 mark, that's a brilliant, one of the most immersive yokes still that you can use with Microsoft Flight Sim on PC if you're simming on a budget. So yeah, on the PC side, you are spoilt for choice. You can pick up a range of different controllers, and if you have one around the home already, you don't even need to go and buy. Any kind of controller will work with Flight Sim 2024 on PC. Now, just to finish, I want to put another consideration in there. Maybe you've got a bit more money to spend, but you still don't want to pay the earth, but you want the most immersive experience for both Xbox and PC. The controller I would most recommend here is the Velocity One Flight Yoke system. It's the most complete Flight Yoke system still, at the date of recording this video, on the market for the lowest cost on both platforms essentially. So you're getting the yoke system, you're getting a throttle system, you've got triggers on the back handles of the yoke handles, adaptive triggers that work fantastic as rudder pedals. You don't need anything else because of the range of buttons and options available on this Flight Yoke system. You can do all kinds of autopilot shenanigans with this, including things like heading mode. I'm doing it now just to show you, just changing my heading, change your altitude with buttons, combination of buttons. I'll link videos about setting up going wild essentially with the Velocity One Flight Yoke system, just to show you what you can do with that. You don't need anything else at all with that. It's just like the most complete Flight Yoke, one of the most complete flight solutions out there. that works for both Xbox and PC. Just keep in mind, you're going to be spending possibly around the 300, currently at least, the £300 mark. You can get sales on that, but because we're so close to Flight Sim 2024, expect to pay around that £300 mark, $300 upwards and €300 upwards as well for that. But it does give you the most complete flight experience because it's all included within that one unit. You don't essentially need anything else, including things like autopilot panels with this flight yoke system, because you can do everything with it. Still one of my most favourite systems out there, and it's the one I most recommend if you have that little bit more, well, if you have a bit more, quite a bit more money to spend and you want the ultimate solution. So there you go, my friends. That's my guide for new pilots coming into Flight Sim 2024. You want to get the best cheap controller and you want a good experience from the sim. You can't go far wrong with what I've mentioned in this guide. But do let me know your thoughts down below. Give the video a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. Hello, Queen. King. And I'll see you soon.